You know something, Ethan? People who start life this late rarely go anywhere. You. I don't know why we still employ you. Starting tomorrow, your hours are cut in half.
Welcome to Stories from Light. This is a place where powerful stories reveal deeper truths about life, perseverance, and faith. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need encouragement today. Now let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else started life ahead of you? Like you somehow missed your moment? Tonight's story is about a man who felt exactly that way. But what the world didn't realize was that his story had only just begun. Ethan Cole was 36 years old, and most people believed his life had already reached its limit. Every morning before sunrise, Ethan unlocked the back door of a massive distribution warehouse. His uniform was plain. His job was simple: sweep the floors, empty the trash, repair broken scanners employees tossed aside. The workers barely noticed him. To them, Ethan was just the quiet janitor who moved silently between shelves and loading docks. But there was one man who always noticed him. Unfortunately, that man noticed him for all the wrong reasons. Victor Kane was the operations manager. Tall, confident, immaculately dressed. Victor believed life was a competition, and he intended to win it. He built his reputation by being ruthless. If someone was slow, he humiliated them. If someone failed, he fired them. To Victor, weakness was unforgivable. And Ethan, in his mind, represented weakness. One morning, Victor walked into the warehouse and spotted Ethan fixing a broken handheld scanner. Victor smirked. "Careful with that, janitor," he said loudly. "Machines can be complicated." A few workers laughed. Ethan quietly handed the repaired device back to the employee. It powered on immediately. Victor raised an eyebrow, then leaned closer. "You know something, Ethan," he said quietly. "People who start life this late rarely go anywhere." He walked away smiling. The laughter echoed behind him. "Let me ask you something. Have you ever had someone speak words over your life that tried to define your future? Words that made you feel small, or late, or like your best days were already behind you? If you've ever experienced that, tell us in the comments. Your story might encourage someone else watching." Every night after work, Ethan did something unusual. He didn't go home. Instead, he drove across the city to an old office building most people had forgotten about. The building was nearly empty. Dust covered the floors. Lights flickered in the hallway. But on the third floor, room 307 still had power. Inside that room was a small desk, a whiteboard, and an aging laptop held together with tape. This was Ethan's real workplace. For 3 years, he had been quietly building something. Something no one at the warehouse knew existed. Something that had the potential to change the logistics industry forever. But progress was slow. Very slow. Sometimes the code failed. Sometimes the computer crashed. Sometimes Ethan stared at the screen for hours wondering if the dream was foolish. Still, he kept going. Night after night. What no one at the warehouse knew was this: Ethan had once been one of the brightest engineering students in his state. At 20 years old, he had received a prestigious university scholarship. But the same year, his father became seriously ill. Hospital visits turned into long treatments. Medical bills piled up quickly. Ethan faced a choice: continue school or support his family. He chose family, and the scholarship disappeared. The dream paused. For years, life became survival instead of ambition. Victor Kane seemed to sense Ethan's quiet determination. And for reasons even he didn't fully understand, it irritated him. One afternoon, Victor gathered the warehouse team for a meeting. "We have a productivity problem," he announced. His eyes scanned the room, then landed on Ethan. "You," Victor said. Ethan looked up calmly. "I don't know why we still employ you." The room went silent. Victor continued. "Starting tomorrow, your hours are cut in half." Several workers shifted uncomfortably. Everyone knew what Victor was doing. He wasn't firing Ethan. He was slowly pushing him out. That night, Ethan sat alone in room 307. Rain tapped against the windows. For the first time in years, he closed the laptop and considered quitting. Maybe Victor was right. Maybe life, really, did have an expiration date on dreams. Then Ethan noticed something on the wall. A piece of paper he had taped there years ago. It contained a sentence his father once told him. "Starting late doesn't mean finishing last." Ethan stared at those words for a long time. Then slowly, he reopened the laptop. Months passed, and across the logistics industry, something unusual began happening. Small shipping companies were switching software systems, but not to well-known corporations. They were switching to a mysterious new platform. The software made delivery routes faster, reduced fuel costs, and solved problems that had frustrated the industry for years. Executives everywhere began asking the same question. Who built this system? But no one knew. The creator remained anonymous. Victor Kane's company soon felt the impact. Contracts were disappearing. Revenue dropped. Executives demanded answers. Victor slammed a report onto his desk. "Find whoever built that platform," he ordered his analysts. "If we don't partner with them, we'll lose everything." For weeks they searched. Tech firms, startups, independent developers. But the creator's identity remained hidden. Victor grew increasingly desperate. Then one Monday morning, Ethan didn't show up for work. His locker was empty, his cleaning cart untouched. Victor shrugged. Guess he finally quit. But 3 weeks later, something unexpected happened. Victor received an invitation. A global logistics conference. The mysterious creator of the industry-changing platform would finally reveal himself. Every major company would attend. Victor smiled. "Perfect," he said. "We'll buy his company before anyone else does." Before we continue, if you're enjoying this story so far, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to Stories from Light. It helps us keep bringing you powerful stories like this one. And here's a question for you. What do you think happened to Ethan? Did he give up? Or was something bigger happening behind the scenes? The conference hall was filled with executives. Bright lights. Reporters. Cameras. Victor Kane sat near the front row. The host stepped onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "tonight you will meet the man who has quietly transformed the logistics industry." The lights dimmed. Footsteps echoed across the stage. Victor leaned forward. Then he saw the face of the man approaching the microphone, and his expression froze. Because the man standing under the spotlight was Ethan, the janitor. For several seconds, Victor simply stared. The quiet janitor from the warehouse, the man he had mocked for years, was now being introduced as the founder of the fastest-growing logistics platform in the industry. Applause filled the room. Ethan looked calm, confident, composed. He stepped to the microphone. 3 years ago, Ethan began. "I worked nights cleaning a warehouse. Most people believed my life had already missed its moment." He paused. "But during those same years, I was building something quietly. Not because I was trying to prove anyone wrong, but because I believed something simple. That opportunity doesn't disappear just because you started late." The audience listened intently. Ethan continued. "Some people begin their journey at 20. Others begin much later. But success isn't determined by when you start. It's determined by whether you keep going. The crowd erupted in applause. Victor slowly lowered his head. After the conference, Victor approached Ethan privately. He forced a smile. "Well, congratulations," he said. Ethan nodded politely. "There's something else you should know," Ethan replied. He slid a document across the table. Victor read it, and his face went pale. The document revealed that Ethan's company had just acquired the logistics corporation that owned the warehouse. Victor looked up in disbelief. "You own the company now?" Ethan nodded. "Yes." Victor waited for humiliation. For revenge. Instead, Ethan simply said, "You can keep your job if you want." Victor sat speechless, because the man he had mocked had chosen mercy instead of revenge. Life has a way of surprising us. Some people seem to move ahead quickly. Others take longer paths, filled with delays and detours. But time alone does not determine greatness. The true measure of a person is perseverance. The lesson in Ethan's story echoes a powerful teaching from Matthew 20:1-16. In that passage, workers who arrived late in the day received the same reward as those who started early. And the message was clear. Life's opportunities are not limited by when you begin. Sometimes, those who arrive later still receive incredible blessings. Thank you for watching Stories from Light. If this story encouraged you, please subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs hope today. And before you go, leave a comment and tell us, do you believe it's ever truly too late to start again? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep believing. Because sometimes the people the world overlooks the longest are the ones preparing the greatest comeback. And their story is only just beginning.